It's awkward though, because you don't really want to pick a core at the 15th. So maybe like a nice laning support, like a position 4 that offers a stun that can bully the anti-mage.
I mean, what are they actually gonna do if you pick a Slardar, to be honest? What are you gonna pick as Lilgun? I don't see it. In my mind, the best possible lane for Army Geniuses, if we're looking only towards the lane against the Anti-Mage, would be Slardar plus Snapfire. I think that would be just amazing, and Army Geniuses are lacking in the magical damage department a little bit, so it would kind of be amazing. Storm pulls someone in, there's Mortimer's Kisses, and of course when it comes to later portions of the game, you always have the Slardar for Derotion to pretty much kill anyone. Okay. So they just want to lock it down.
Honestly, Aim can play okay into Lion. It's not the worst if your fingers are fast enough with the counter spell. I know Lion has an instant hex, but it's
10 seconds remaining.
It's not the worst, but it can be difficult lane. At least it gives you a stun, probably followed up with another position 3 that has a passive or a stun as well. So what's the answer for Lilgun? Okay. I really do not hate this. You get
I like it, yeah.
I like it a lot, in fact, because now you're kind of anticipating the Slardar, and that was actually the lane matchup that we saw, and I'm almost certain it was Lilgun. They ran this Lich and the Hoodwink together, and that was that was into the Slardar, right? I gotta check now.
Yeah, it was into the Slardar for sure, and they actually survived the Lich lane against the Slardar. Did they have the AM there? They had something that they had the Lifestealer in that lane. Yeah. So yeah, it was Lilgun. They had the Lifestealer Lich. It was a great thing against the Slardar. I actually think maybe Lilgun wanted for the enemies to pick a Slardar here. They left it in the pool, and they had the idea of going for the Lich. So maybe it was the plan all along, but still, I like the support duo for sure. Of course, they got so many levels last time around. It's still going to be a Slardar coming out. So Army Geniuses are like, you can have 10 Liches, 10 heroes that actually stop the physical damage from coming in. We're going to crush it. And I have to say, the difference here is that Lilgun have I'd say, a worse matchup in the mid lane. Storm Spirit does so well against all of the melee heroes. Void Spirit is a bit different because he pushes out the wave quite easily, but still, it is a Storm favored matchup. So if you, let's say, rotate the line towards the Void Spirit, that's something that we've seen done against Lilgun in the previous series that we casted. There is a TP from the Lich, suddenly the Slardar dumpsters the Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage is not one of those heroes that wants to go back into the woods early on. So I think Lilgun are gonna have to be moving around towards that Anti-Mage a lot, even with the Void Spirit. So I'm just kind of looking to if they're gonna keep their head in the game and not really TP towards the Void, even if he's in a threat of dying.
Well, they are looking for their 11th hero with the 23rd pick. Has to be... I think you're looking for another initiator to help set up for the sharpshooter.
5 seconds
DK's gone. Shanking is still available if they want to go down that route.
I think it's gonna get banned, right? The Mars gets banned out, and I think the Sand King is the next best thing. It's a good thing because it can stun multiple heroes, and then the Abaddon has to choose who he's gonna save. So I think that the Sand King will most likely be banned right now by Army Geniuses.
You could bait it, keep the Sand King in, force him to pick and go Lifestealer, because I think it's a dope Lifestealer game. With the Infest Bomb on the Slardar, with the Storm Spirit, is a pretty good matchup versus the Anti-Mage. Especially once you get Basher, you can definitely man-fight the Anti-Mage. So you could bait it in a way. Or they could just protect it and go like a Drow and end the game early. I think Void Spirit's the only thing you're worried about. Late game Anti-Mage is going to feel pretty well into it, but I think could be still scary to play into. And maybe the only reason why I'm considering is that because you have like a melee support, so sometimes you do like to go for a range carry.
I'm actually okay with the Drow even in the late game. I think Lilgun, the time when they win this game is once the anti-mage gets his third item. I always emphasize it, so it's Battle Fury Manta plus one item. If you get that one pre-25 minute mark, from minute 25 to minute 35, you are the strongest on the map. You split push, you fight, you do everything, and you're everywhere on the map. They can't really find it. So I'm actually okay with the draw. With the Slardar being in play, a carry versus carry matchup is always gonna favor the Slardar lineup. Though there's so many things to put in consideration here, and the main one is definitely a huge mana void could win you the game at any point. This is the good thing about the anti-mage. You know, he is not that great in the ultra late game if there's solid catch, which there is on the Army Genius side, but he can be very good in the ultra late game if he has a good target for the mana void. Pugna and the Storm, I think, are the best ones overall in the game.
Oh, we'll see what the last pick's going to be for Lilgun as their time's running out. Timber is the one. Ursa looks phenomenal now. It's a good lane counter versus the Timber. Has a very good matchup versus the anti-mage as well. You can take Roshan very easily, but you do lack ways to take objectives. Like, that is actually a big issue on Army Geniuses with how you can high ground siege into Frost Shield, into their wave clear on Lilgun. Maybe that's enough time as well for AM to come online, but they also have a lot of pick off on Army Geniuses, so let's see what's the route. What do they do?
I like this one. I like the troll. I also wanted to see the troll, but I wanted to say troll. Why? Because if you go for an Ursa is a Timbersaw counter, but not if you don't have a stun. We know that Timbersaws have evolved. They know how to play against the Ursa. You don't even take the third spell. On level 2, you have first and the second spell, and you just go through the Ursa. You make sure that he is low. Hoodwink is also one of the heroes that kind of is annoying to you, constantly pokes you. So if the Ursa is low, he can never commit on the Timbersaw. No Fury swipes, no danger for the Timber, and he's gonna be fine. Troll, on the other hand, he has a lot of lockdown in this game. The Lion is gonna keep a hero in place, and he is gonna kill him. That is the deal. It doesn't matter if there's a Frost Shield on him or not. Plus, he does mixed damage with the Whirling Axes, and of course the Maelstrom that he's most likely gonna be going for. And he is a tower taker as well. Thing that you thought was lacking. So Army Geniuses, they go for a troll. I think that this is a hard hero to play, but I also think that Army Geniuses have everything they need to enable him to be that big beast that he should be.
Yeah, I like the point you brought up about him just being a hard hero to play. I think it's very difficult to execute him on a high level. DB has played it recently in the past, so it's something they are relatively comfortable on. It's one thing I'm not sure if you just brought up, but it's a very good matchup versus the anti-mage. You have a passive, which enables you to stand your ground, build up attack speed. You have a built-in control as well with the root, and you're going to be a basher builder. You love going that item, so yeah, it's not only is it a good lane versus a troll, a tower taker, and as the game goes on, a very good matchup against the anti-mage. So big fan of the pick. Again, difficult to execute, but I feel like Army Geniuses are a team that can execute it. We have seen them perform really well. They went 5-2 in the spring tour for Division 2, and we saw them really they just took it to team after team after team, and they've been able to continue with that dominant run so far in the Pro Series. One thing I just want to mention real quick, because we have had a update in the standings with the last series. We have two teams that are guaranteed upper bracket finishes. They are both Polaris and NGXC. They're currently 10-2 map count. So yeah, they are guaranteed upper bracket. So we are still fighting for 2 more upper bracket slots. Currently, that's Execration and Army Geniuses in there. But there's still other teams that are able to secure that. And for Lilgun in particular, they are fighting for their tournament lives.
For sure. And I have to say, coming back to that troll, I just want Maelstrom BKB Basher. Please, that be the build for DB. I think it's the best build for the troll overall, but I think in this game in particular, you want an early Javelin so that you can actually stand your ground in the lane against the Timbersaw. That is how you deal with him. We'll see what he does. Will he be going for the boots and stuff like that? But if you actually start the lane quite well, you can get that Javelin, and with the fervor stacks, you have a way to push back on the Timbersaw, especially with the Abaddon kind of tank tank. What's with the Abaddon? Do you see this?
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching him.
Look at him.
Someone pinged him, and he used the good old laugh voice line. So
30 seconds
I
to battle.
have no idea what I'm watching.
He's trying to break the game.
Oh, he's breaking my mind right now. I'm a bit worried about you, my guy. Dude, what is wrong with him? Okay, he's chilling.
Maybe he had a fever there, so a little bit cold. Either him, maybe the horse had a fever though. Hopefully everything is gonna be fine right now.
The battle begins.
So we both kind of giving a bit of an edge here to Army Geniuses.
Ooh, let me think about it. Let me think if I'm giving them the edge. As we mentioned, Troll is a hard hero to play, not for the player itself, but for the entirety of the team. So you need to set up everything. Every move needs to be set up. How is our Troll gonna help? How is he gonna push? How is he gonna fight? How is he gonna survive? With that being said, I'm actually gonna go for Lilgun. I think their lineup is easier to execute. They have a response to everything, and I kind of see the anti-mage hitting that 25-minute timing. You know, the troll gets a BKB that timing, but if you have a Manta, you can actually split push the map, and you just need to keep tabs on where the lion is. If you know where the lion is, the AM will be fine. So I'm gonna go for Lilgun, despite me seeing Army Geniuses as the heavy favorites here. If I'm going just based off on the draft, I'll say Lilgun.
Okay. Alright, I'm Army Geniuses, but I'm very intrigued about this item build for 423. It's gone for the Wraith Band. First, of course, is because of all the physical damage and the soon-to-be minus armor that's going to come out of the lane, but I really think that 423 actually might have a decent time. Ace 12, I imagine, is going to go a 1-1-1 build into probably a second level in Frost Shield relatively early on, and we'll see if that's going to be enough to be able to keep 423 healthy and farming up in this lane.
The way we already saw it when Sound played against Lilgun, the way that you crush the AM in this lane or anyone with the Slardar is that you let them be 1 versus 1. Lion, of course, he cannot trade effectively with the Lich, so he can't do that. But what he can do is secure the runes from the Storm and actually threaten the Void Spirit. So you force the Lich out of the lane once the Slardar is ready to fight.
And speaking about the Void Spirit Sanctity, is a little bit behind in the last hits. Storm Spirit is always going to have a very good matchup, but I think the one thing I always like about the Void into the Storm is that you can be a Yules builder. I know with that E-Blade change, we were seeing a lot of the Void Spirits actually rush the E-Blade, but I think this is definitely a game you go Yules into the Troll Warlord to kite him through Battle Trance, a way to be able to purge off the Corrosive Haze on yourself, but also it's a guaranteed stun for Yules into the Aether Remnant. Then you can have like a Bushwhack, Sinister's Gaze, maybe AM with a couple of right clicks, so this is always one thing I like about the Void Spirit matchup as the game goes on.
Yeah, you're lacking control on the side of Lilgun. I think the Yules is a must here for him. I think if he would go for anything else, that it would straight up be a mistake. Great catching item, but as you mentioned, defensive for himself and defensive for his entire team. The Yules is the best item against the Troll because you use the ulti. If you don't have a BKB, you're just going to get lifted up. And even if you do, you're going to protect yourself for some time.
Man, Kishka just denied 3 creeps in a row, 2 of them with a range, so DB's... he's really not happy. You see him start to spam out some more abilities, and he just missed another range creep under the tower. So, DB...
7 denies.
Yeah.
On Kishka.
7? What? Ow. Well, DB. I mean, he went boots first, I suppose, so not as many stats.
I'm definitely not a fan of the boots first. I wanted, and he's going for the power trend, so it means the DB wants to leave this lane and go into the jungle. That's gonna open up the top lane for the AM at some point. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Ace though, bottom lane.
It's gonna be in trouble, Wami. Has that bash coming up surely. Looks like 423 is gonna put the pressure on Narman though. Nice counter spell, but instantly Narman with the Duke pump fakes this. Now the 423 is gonna eat 2 stuns, and we'll put him in a position where he's not in the greatest health pool. Meanwhile, mid lane as well, Sanctity. Oh, he's going to be killed off. Azura with the solo kill. He's going to have to go through the Resonant Pulse protection. And yeah, Sanctity just gets out. He was fast enough in the fingers to be able to get the water in and sips on the bottle multiple times to be okay.
That would have been so bad if the Void Spirit has died solo. But this is the thing, Army Geniuses, they managed to isolate the hero on the bottom lane. That's what you want to do. If AM and the Lich are together, it's very hard for you to do much. But if you isolate the Lich on the one side, AM on the other, you can actually choose who you're gonna go for. Of course, Lich being the easier target because the AM doesn't really want to help that much. But top lane 11 is really playing with fire.
That he is. DB's gonna need to get pretty lucky with a root if they get this kill. Maybe Varese is playing with fire now. Hang on a second. Whirling Death with the Strength Hero is something they have to be scared about. One more root, they won't get it, but Varese gets a missed call as he flies over to the camp and gives him a tip for good measure.
This is an awesome start for Army Geniuses. They are winning the CS battle on every lane. They are getting 2 kills as well. And it's only going to get harder from now on, at least on the bottom lane. Troll, sure, he bought the power tread, so it means that he doesn't want to stay in this lane for too long. He's going to leave relatively soon with the power treads. He farms the jungle relatively fast. And it's not gonna be easy for Lilgun if they continue dropping kills, and that Timbersaw, that was the main one. That needs to be your unkillable hero, and unlike the last time when we saw Kishka on the Hoodwink, he's not getting any return kills after his offlaner is dying.
Yeah, 11 is... He's always been a very good Timbersaw player, and it's obvious when you're the Grand Master on a hero. Unfortunate to be able to be giving up those kills at the early stages, and like you said, just giving the influx of gold, those first real big items to Army Geniuses. Now with the treads, the Troll he's got room to play. He can stay in the lane, go back to the jungle if that's going to be the case. His bottom lane though, Wami's going to try and get aggressive on Ace 12 and thinks about pulling the wave, but nothing too crazy. Once Wami gets level 5, maybe they'll look for a kill.
That's gonna be the case. Sanctity trying to secure the rune for himself. Unfortunately, it does spawn on the top lane. We all know that it's very easy for the Void Spirit to secure the rune, though Storm Spirit can zip through it and actually click on it through the zip. But still, in the end, it's gonna be supports getting that one, and I think it kind of hurts the Void Spirit because he should naturally be the one that gets more runes, and he needs more levels to be able to rotate overall.
I'm just trying to see what the supports do this game, especially in particular with Kishka, because you do have a Timbersaw that wants to be left alone very shortly. So what do you feel like is the Hoodwink's job for the next, say, 3 minutes?
I actually expected the Hoodwink to go towards the bottom lane at some point. I thought going for the Slaughter actually would have been great if the AM, let's say, would have bought a Orb of Corrosion, but it needs to be a team decision. Kishka on his own right now, I think he's kind of lost. No one is calling for him. No one wants him. Everyone is like, no, let me have this solo experience, because that's something that they're used to doing. And Lilgun, I kind of see them as the team that are good at innovating, good at finding new ways to play the game. So it's kind of a bummer for me that he just can't find a spot right now, but I would love for him to be on the bottom lane. But look at this, the Storm is the first one to rotate.
Uh-oh, they'll take anyone they can get. There we go, zip in. Hoodwink's still got a TP down. That's a beautiful counterspell from 423. Now the double TPs. As Wami's committed on the tower, Sanctity with the reactions, and he'll be rewarded with a kill. In fact, it's the first one of the game for Lilgun as well, so really nicely done. And you keep 423 alive, that's the main thing, so he's going to have a little bit more time to farm up bottom, and also shutting down the starter from getting an early level 6.
A weird play coming out from the Storm.
Woo, Kishka! That's beautiful, a double bushwhack. Azura's still going to try and fight for the power runes. Sees it top, in fact, Sanctity has one more ultimate charge, but with... Is he going to go for it? No, he will not.
Too much mana on the Storm. Azura already has 2 Tonal Talismans, so it allows him to move away. And with the DD, 11 is in trouble. DB also can skill up the ulti. No, he cannot. He actually doesn't have the skill point, but he's close to level 7.
DB's got to be a bit cautious here if 11 gets off the abilities. Not a high enough level to be able to bring DB down. And yeah, like you said, in trouble with the double damage rune. So now Azura can fall back to the jungle, get some nice catch up off the back of the stacks, and DB continuing to be at the top of the net worth. He's working on a Battle Fury, and I tell you what, he is going to get a much faster Battle Fury than 423 on the anti-mage.
I still would have wanted the troll to go for a maelstrom. I think you kind of get the similar amount of farm between the two items. It's only good because of course you have the mana regen, which is something that the troll lacks, given that he's the dumbest hero in Dota. Pretty much no intelligence gain, no base intelligence. He's just he just didn't like school either way. But I guess with the Battle Fury, you want to take this one later. And if it goes to the ultra late game, the only way that Lilgun can win it is with a big mana void. And I think that Azura is going to be aware of that one. So I guess it's going to be fine. We talked about it with the Slardar. He makes any carry matchup go into your hands. And I think the Troll pretty much 1 versus 1 against the Anti-Mage. There's really no contest. Anti-Mage can't do anything. So going to be a very tough game for Lilgun overall, and we can see even 4-2-3 using mana void on the creeps in the jungle just goes to show in what kind of a situation they are.
Yeah, and you even mentioned as well earlier just how late game Dota works with a hero that has corrosive haze compared to someone who doesn't. This is something that we saw be utilized for quite some time with the Slardar, where it was just, okay, one team late game has plus, sorry, I should say negative 20 armor, and you will win that carry to carry matchup. Now, it is offset a little bit because there is a Lich in this game, and I think Frost Shield is a very strong ability. 60% physical damage reduction, right-click reduction, I should say, and then you can even go the 10 talent if you want to. So we'll see if that's going to be the route mid lane. Sanctity, nice smoke. They should have the chain control afterwards as Narman pops out with the zap. He's got his first charge of the game, and Azura hits the board.
That was a pretty big one from Army Genius. I have to say they're playing much better than Lilgun. The big thing for me is that 11 got somewhat shut down. You can see that the Troll, who, I mean, naturally is a strong laner, but against the Timbersaw, he should get bullied out at some point. The fact that you killed the Timbersaw twice in this game is already a problem, which puts 11 in a spot where he's actually capable of dying, which 11 minutes in should be kind of a... there should be a... X over the Timbersaw, like, don't go for this target. He's way too hard to kill.
Oh no, Sanctity's TPing bottom but die. They're bringing everyone for this fight. Azura's gonna try and target Ace. Oh, what was that? A spike onto 3. That's crazy from Narman. My guy does it time after time. Azura's gonna be cautious though. Sharpshooter from downtown. 11 with the follow-up. They still turn it on Lilgun. So in the end, they're still able to recover and make this a decent engagement.
Yep, despite there being a Ravage on one side and Storm, I think Storm got a bit too greedy. He was trying to bring down both Sanctity and the 11 Timbersaw, and it just came to bite him. If they just focused on the Sanctity's Void Spirit, I think this one would have ended up much better for the side of Army Geniuses, but they were trying to bring both of them down. That's a little bit too much. We talked about the Timbersaw being, they can't kill him, but that's if you focus him down with everything. That definitely wasn't the case right now for Army Geniuses.
Tribute to my house.
Well, we are getting very... 11, and Kishka should be able to get another kill. Rish will make some space. He's actually going to go for a TP out. He should make it. Oh, cancels the TP. Okay, because he's got backup now. We are getting very close to our Battle Furies, though. Troll is looking for the last component in the Broadsword. Well, probably like 300 gold. And the Anti-Mage is looking for the last component in the Void Stone. He rushed the Battle Fury, not completing the treads. Bottom lane, Smoke, Sanctity. Gonna look to jump Wani. He's on the mark here with a combo. Wami should go down to the magic damage. Get the Midas off before you die. In fact, he won't even die. So want to use the Midas though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That was so unfortunate. The Sinister Gaze pulling in Womi, and it cut down the tree because of it. So 11, when he tried to latch onto the tree with the timber chain, that one that stands there between the jungles, he couldn't, and because of it, Womi just didn't take enough damage. I like the fact that Lilgun understand they need to play around 11. He's not this guy that cannot die in this game, and they're also lacking a little bit in the damage department, at least when it comes to big team fights. So I like that they're always going towards the Timbersaw and playing where he is. Unfortunate for them, this time around, they're not going to be able to catch the Slardar.
Dire have hit all their items. Their accelerant items. Midas on Slardar, Battle Fury on DB. And for Azura, honestly, his accelerant's just a Fairy's Trinket. Fairy's Trinket, double null, that's all you need for this guy.
Yeah, the only thing he's afraid of is if the AM comes in and uses the mana void, he pretty much shouldn't die unless he overextends so much like he did in the bottom lane.
Oh, Naaman.
Dire's middle
I've been in a bit of trouble. In fact, Azura's going to start the fight. Snatching the invis away from Sanctity's hands. And even DB's looking to show up to the party as Azura zips into the middle. Focusing Kishka down. He's got enough magic damage to get rid of the life of
Going for
one. Now
more.
they're going to turn to Ace 12. Tries to charge up the Chain Frost, but won't be able to get that off in the nick of time. And look at this, 3 of them moving over to a bit of an ancient stack. So more economy given over to the lads on Dire.
That's so good. Usually when you would finish off the Battle Fury, you'll try to keep yourself away from a fight, but Troll is the type of hero that now, before the BKBs start coming out, he's actually going to be super powerful, and him getting that Ancient stack is going to accelerate his farm even further. We can see a big difference between him and the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, one of the fastest farmers in the game, but not
Sanctity.
having the treads.
With the invis, he's going to run on deep detection. Oh no, Sanctity thought he was under the cover of the shadows, and Naaman again. And this line's going to have a decent Battle Fury timing. Meanwhile, top lane, DB, not lucky enough with the root. 4-2-3 is able to blink out. I mean, this is really scary now, Harry Free, because we see 3,000 net worth lead, but you are probably waiting. I don't even know if you need to wait for second point in Corrosive Haze. Like, if you win a next team fight, probably 3 kills, you can take Roche. Maybe you will wait for second point, but that, as soon as you get Roche on, I think this game just, you're going to close it out and get all the objectives.
The only thing I think that is kind of keeping Army Geniuses from going for the Roche is the mid lane tower. It allows Lilgun to TP there even with some buybacks, and it would be a big deal if you would just throw away that lead. Army Geniuses are aware that they are not good at taking towers right now until the troll helps them,
Bottom
so
lane,
they're gonna
Wommy?
wait for him a little bit.
It's going to be alright.
My deepest
How close are we to some of the items? Sanctity's working on the Yules. Levin's working on the Lotus Orb. See, DB's still free farming. This is going to be... He's already got Yasha, working on the Sunjin Yasha next.
Army Geniuses are hitting the timings first. The big timings, those are the blink on the Lion, the blink on the Slaughter. Those are gonna come out, and once they get those, it's gonna be much easier for them to get a kill into a objective. Kill into an objective. That is what you want to do.
Oh,
And Armin,
Naaman.
though,
He's going to look to start the fight with a long zip from Azura, but no, the Mana Void target. But Azura hasn't been killed off just yet. This simulates enough damage, and now this is a big window to get more out of it. They're going to blink on top of Reese, and alright, Lilgun.
DB is
3
next.
for nothing, and DB might be in trouble. Sharpshooter, 11 with a follow-up damage. DB does have Battle Trance, but you would hate to use it in this position. Maybe they just look to turn their attention onto Wommy instead. But they're able to get some distance away from the Slaughter, and both the Troll and Slaughter will actually escape. So it doesn't matter though. Lilgun, you are so happy with that. Getting 3 kills and having no casualties on your side.
This is the thing. I think Army Geniuses jumped the gun a little bit. They thought they were a bit stronger than they actually are. Though Kishka is gonna be a nice freebie for the line. 11 is in.
Yeah, it might be a freebie as well. The respawns were coming up. 11 feeling like he could get aggressive, but still a very long cooldown in Vortex, and Wommy doesn't have to blink just yet. So look at this. They're going to zip
Easy and easier.
instead for Ace 12. Yes, sir, they do see an easier kill in the Lich. Zero, very nicely done for himself, and he will be going for an Orchid. So I'm a bit intrigued about the Orchid. I think he had plenty of control. So I thought BKB would have been the route that Azura considers, but we'll see how it pans out.
With the way Army Geniuses are playing, I think they want to crush their opponents. I know this mentality. I want to kill them over and over and over again. For that to happen, these tier 1s need to fall. If AM gets the Manta, if there is a Yules on the Void Spirit, which there will be, if there's a Lotus on the Timbersaw, and the towers haven't dropped, the Azura hasn't gotten killed, this Orchid might be a problem for Army Geniuses. It is something that the Storm definitely wouldn't like to buy if he can't get kills, and from the looks of it, the way that it's going, you haven't taken down the towers, the big items are coming out, the only one that is very far away from it is the AM, and I kind of feel like 4-3 is gonna be coming into the fights, showing on the map, only when he is there just to finish off things with the Mana Void. So I do believe it is a mistake from Azura to go for this one, unless of course they go for a big smoke right now and secure themselves some towers.
They're going to go for a play. They got the Sunjin Yasha. Yeah, you need some towers, lads. Still got a bottom tower up. I didn't even recognize. I know you're speaking about towers. I thought they got this. I thought we were just looking at the mid tower, but no, this one should be claimed though. See, with all the further stacks, and now even the goddamn Curse of Avernus on top of that. So tower's going to be claimed, and there we go. That can start to open up the map a little bit more for these pickoffs, but look at Azura. He's got to be cautious though. Might run underneath the sentry. He's a bit wary of this though.
The genius is they're allowing their mid lane tower to take so much damage. If this falls, then your advantage as the Slardar lineup to take the Rosh, it's gonna be gone. Sure, you're playing against the Timber. He usually takes the towers down, but he already has a Lotus Orb. That is a big item against everything, literally everything that Army Geniuses have. It gives you armor, it removes spells, it returns all of the line spells. Even the Storm can make a mistake pulling himself in. Removing the silence from the Anti-Mage now is a possibility as well. I think Lilgun, despite the 4k gold deficit and of course the obvious difference between the strength of the troll and the AM, I think they're in an okay spot. I thought it was going to be a much worse with the start Army Genius that had got for themselves.
The items are now coming out. You got a BKB shortly being delivered on Wommy. Again, DB with the Sunjin Yasha, Orchid out on the Storm Spirit. So this is it. If they get this fight, this just completely opens up tier 1 and Rosh. This is a huge fight for the story of the game. Here we go. Smoke's gonna pop. Azura's gonna jump to the high ground, expecting someone to be in this location. Orchid out. Instant pick off. There's nothing they can really do to protect Kishka as the zap takes away his life instantly. Now Azura's hunting for more. Now they don't have 4-3 in the neighborhood as well for the potential turnaround in the Mana Void. So they are just giving up this tier 1 tower and now giving up access to the pit.
Yeah, you go straight into the Rosh there. Lilgun, other than trying to win this fight wholeheartedly, they were like, let's not lose too much. I don't know if that's the right response. You could have lost the game there if you gave away more kills, but this Rosh,
they're coming.
It is a problem if it goes their way. They're coming in.
Is Sanctity going to go for the play? No, it didn't free up an item slot. And Sanctity might be in trouble, actually. Orchid out. Duel's going to be able to dispel this, but Wommy, he's waiting with a crush. Still on cooldown, unfortunately. Sanctity to the left side. Man, well, the Timbersaw, though, consistently rooted in place. There was nothing he could do. Now Ace 12, he's going to be food. It's a free buffet right now for Army Geniuses, and they are munching up hero after hero. As DB gets a double behind the tier 2 tower, and yep, there we go. This map is now completely open for Army Geniuses. They can do whatever they want with the Aegis.
It could have been even worse for Lilgun. Narman had a Hex when the Void Spirit self-healed himself. He was in range, and for some reason he wasn't spamming that Hex. But either way, it's a disaster. I thought Lilgun, they had to defend that mid lane tower with everything
Top
they
lane.
had. Oh.
Narman in the tree line, hitting your Hex
dead.
before the Earth Spike, and indeed, it looks like he's going to be dead. Sanctity, he's on the duty to try and disrupt the combo. It's not enough, and he doesn't even have the damage right now. Is Narman? Oh, Hex was on cooldown for a second. It was on cooldown for a little bit. It was so close. But you killed 4-2-3. So you're continuing. That was his... Man, the fact that he's only died one time this game for 4-2-3 is kind of silver lining. Props to him, I suppose. But yeah, this is... Here you go. The Aegis used to got 3 minutes 30. So this is not looking good at all.
Radiant's top tower.
Him dying only once and having this low net worth goes to show that he has been playing super defensive. So he has not been trying to maximize his farm, he has been trying to survive. And that is, I don't think that is the way to go with the AM. We already talked about it. His timing is minute 25, you have to have the third item. If you don't, you're not going to be hitting that timing from 25 to 35 minutes is where the anti-mage is the strongest. So DB now having the BKB, I don't see a way back for Lilgun. Ever since they dropped that mid lane tower, it has been a downward spiral for them. And now it's just gonna be chase, kill after kill after kill. I don't see how they prevent this one, to be honest.
11's not gonna get out, and they're gonna know Ace 12 is nearby. That's a hell of a chain frost. I don't think it's gonna do much as Wommy pops a BKB, DB stands his ground, and Narman's gonna try and catch up to Ace 12. Poe goes into the tree line, Azura will go left, and Lich will go right, but now puts him in a position to think about taking the tier 2 bottom instead.
Dire are
They definitely
scanning.
can go for that one. The lanes are outpushed quite enough. Army Geniuses, though, with the lanes being outpushed, they could go for another move, for another smoke. Of course, you take away the outpost with the tier 2 in the mid lane already being down. And the safe play is you go for this tier 2, you even
Dire's
force the
middle
enemies
tower
back
is
on the
under
bottom lane,
attack.
and then you can do whatever you want. You have a beeline towards the triangle
Radiant's
as well,
bottom tower
just because
is
the
under
mid lane
attack.
tower is gone. This is, like, map control-wise, Lilgun are unable to do anything. I'm looking towards 4-2-3 to be able to force out some TPs and survive. But I just don't see that split push working against the Lion and the Storm.
Yeah, well, they're going high ground. You gotta come back down pretty soon, guys.
They want to force them back. They want everyone back. Then they're gonna take over the triangle, and from the triangle you have the access to 2 lanes. So once you take control of the triangle, you push the anti-mage back into his own big jungle, and that is where he's easily hunted. So they just want him back.
Oh, alright. I don't hate the play. It's very hard to execute, though. You gotta be careful on DB. They're smoking, and Lilgun are thinking that they're playing behind the troll. But top lane, Narman, he's found the anti-mage with a long zip in. Azura doesn't get the damage from the zip, but the chain control, that's all they need to get the kill. Blink will not be there fast enough, and you see instantly Army Geniuses, they move away from bottom just to make sure they are not caught out with their pants down. Well, in fact, DB is actually going high ground. Minute left on Aegis. BKB Battle Trance is the potential. Oh, Wummy, that's a beautiful crush onto 2 of the supports on the backline. Disrupting the combo, more importantly, just getting DB out of harm's way.
DB wants 11. It just feels so good attacking someone as a troll that he pretty much can't do anything to you. You're just gonna die after a very long time. And I sometimes when I play the troll, I literally let go of my keyboard and I'm like, yeah, just crush him, troll. And this is what DB wants to do with going on to 11. He definitely could have killed the supports after the beautiful crush, but he decided to go for the tankier target. So in the end, not gonna be resulting in any kills for them. But finally, Army Geniuses are in a spot where they're controlling the triangle. And Lilgun, they have that one ward, but right now, once they're forced towards the bottom part of the map, it's gonna be easy for Army Geniuses to catch them there.
Aegis claimed, but Army Genius is with that Aegis. I think it was a 4,000 net worth lead beforehand, so increased it by 7,000.
Radiant's
And they've been
top
able to
tower
claim
is under
all the
attack.
outer towers, and now there's a DD that they can fall back on and soon utilize as well. I mean, look at this. You got a Solar Crest on Bareeze. He's going 4-star next. They're just wanting to give everything they possibly can to amp up DB. Are they going to think about
And the
high
hunt
ground?
is on. Ah, the hunt is on. Look at bottom lane.
No, 4-2-3 is trying to play behind the Void Spirit. Azura's going to be cautious if he doesn't burn too much of his mana. But 4-2-3 very hesitant to jump into the middle. Back to top though, Bareeze. TP's out as the Bushwhack just a little bit too late.
DB doesn't have the Aegis any longer, but I don't think with the heroes that they have left that they can threaten his life. He can just stand here, wait for his team to push out the bottom lane, and then come back. 4-2-3, kind of forced to do these shenanigans and farm the enemy triangle. So at least something will be going his way.
No way.
Slaughter might
No way
fight
he
him.
guesses.
Dire are scanning.
Ooh, want me. He was close, but no cigar. This is... Radiant have had the opportunity, thanks to the anti-mage pushing up bottom mid, to get wards down by their triangle. So if there's ever a fight to take, it is where you have your vision around the triangle, hoping for like a crazy chain frost into Bushwhack and going from there. They need to get grouped up here before Dire gets set up and deward the area.
The thing is, I don't see a target here for Lilgun. Lion and the Storm, they're never gonna be showing on lanes. The Slardar has a BKB. The Abaddon is not a target. The Troll is way too hard to kill as well with the BKB. I don't see them having a target. And with the Storm Spirit and the Lion always missing off the map, it makes the game almost impossible for Lilgun. Bottom lane.
Oops. Poor old Void Spirit. Zero jump, didn't even need the zap. And there you go. Now with that pick off, they should be able to occupy the triangle. They are still underneath vision and radiant. They are smoked, trying to get out of the map, seeing what they can find.
Lion and the Storm are showing for a bit too long. They might be in trouble. This is something that Lilgun should have tried to punish. That was their best bet. Whenever you see the Lion, whenever you see the Storm, you go on them.
Regeneration.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Love to see it for Azuro's. Got a... Oh. Wait, what? Alright, we still got the regen.
Where's the party?
I don't like that. Lilgun, they had an opening there. The death of their Void Spirit gave them an opening to find people. They were actually in a smoke. Narman and
Dire's courier has been
Azura were showing themselves for too long. That is not something that you can allow to happen here for the two catchers. And Storm?
Yo, Azura.
He lost a lot of mana.
He does. 4-2-3 is considering jumping in. You see, again, he's playing super passively. Gonna blink on the higher ground, but Wami, they've got the vision. A Bash needs to come out the last second. 4-2-3, but the illusion dodge, but it doesn't matter. They know which one is the real anti-mage. They'll tip him as well. It was a nice attempt, but in the end, finally, this split-pushing anti-mage will be stopped in his tracks.
This is the thing, when you're going for that split push, you still have to find a way to get back into the game. It has to be a big team fight. It has to be a big pickoff. So the longer the game goes, it's gonna be harder for you to do so. So I'm kind of thinking that Lilgun should have done it a little bit earlier.
And if they get one Bash, 11 might be in trouble. Roots? No? Well, now they go. There we go. Battle Trance is out.
Radiant's middle tower
Chain Frost doing minimal amounts of damage thanks to the BKB.
is under attack.
Wami's like, come on, guys. Stop getting the Chain Frost back to me. They're going to be chilling afterwards. Freeze can heal them up.
Is under attack.
And they are okay to continue the siege.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I mean, without the Timber Saw, Lilgun have no hero that can actually soak up some damage and allow the rest of them to do the damage. You don't have the Chain Frost either, but I don't think that Army Geniuses are in any kind of a hurry. They're gonna take the Roche, and it's just gonna become harder and harder for Lilgun. The only thing they can do is continue with their split push. If they decide to go for a last play smoke, I maybe think it might be the best way. You have the Blink Fragment on the anti-mage, just go for it. Yep. And Narman is showing, again, this is a mistake. These heroes that catch people, they need to be always away, and okay, Narman is just a genius that waited for the last possible moment, and he even almost broke the smoke. That's how good that was. Kind of reminds you of Misery's line just a few years back.
Zera's under a ward. Let's see. They're going to be perfect. Under the T1 tower. A long pushback. 4-2-3 is going to jump instantly. But a 4-staff. Oh my god. Narman. What a baller this guy is. And now off to the west side. They're in trouble throughout the river. 11's going to be the target. Is able to chain to reposition. But importantly, the Aegis is in the hands of DB, so Lilgun, they just have to get out. They need to evacuate and hope everyone else makes it away. Are they going to stay? Okay.
They have to. You TP to the base right now, and the enemies just come high ground. So you have to cut the waves, even if it means throwing bodies. Catch enemies off guard. They come to your high ground. They're going to be positioned perfectly. You're not going to be able to do anything, though.
11's not too survivable with how farm DB is. He's got Satanic freshly completed. The ward on the higher ground. Narman's going to charge. Lion looking to get the side of the fight. Onto the backline they go. They're going to be cautious once again. The Storm Spirit in trouble. It's going to be killed off. And now who do they want to target towards the backline? With the Secret Shop Slider, Double Cross, Sanctity doing a good job to control the Warlord. It's a 2 for 1 at the moment. They're continuing to kite DB, but that's where Wami comes into play. A crush to enable DB to close the distance. Timber will just TP out. No lucky bash. But, alright, Lilgun, some signs of life. It might be a bit too late, but you do get a 2 for 3 trade.
That was a perfect play, I have to say. The play at the end of that I didn't like is that both the Timber and the Anti-Mage TP to the base. So I would have expected 4-3 to stay there and actually cut the creep wave in top and then be somewhere around the mid lane to get that one down. I guess he was afraid of the vision of Army Geniuses, which they do have on the high ground, but it is a risk that you should be willing to take given the situation that you're in right now. So I wanted 4-3 to stay on the enemy part of the map still, but that was an amazing play from Lilgun. They knew if they go back to the base, the game is just over. Troll comes in, you cannot commit on the Troll. The only way that you can win this one is if you get the backline, and they got a perfect jump, I have to say. A Storm without the BKB at that point was just a perfect jump from them. And now Troll is alone. Look at this one.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got Satanic. I don't know. Oh, especially with Varese stepping in. They'll kite him for the moment with the Halberd. But DB is...
Taking his mana.
That's a big thing. Troll Wallet does kind of rely on mana. It's gonna... Oh, Sancti's gonna jump in again. He's got the silence. Swami, anticipation with the crush. 11's in trouble. Lotus Orb's gonna do nothing to keep him alive. But maybe the Chain Frost can turn this one back around. 11's walking out of the fight, but Narman forced to drop the zap. Sancti's gonna jump back in once again. Ultimate charges, not enough to be able to secure the kill, but it's a lot of damage here with the Resident Pulse, says Narman. Still, they need the control. The Hex gonna come out at the last second with the Earth Spikers. There we go. Narman doing a very good job to hold the Void Spirit into place, and all they lost was the Abaddon from Army Geniuses.
I think Lilgun, this team, when they're up against the wall, they actually do all the right moves. The thing is, they're like, okay, we can still split push, okay, we can still dodge fights, and then when they're like, okay, we can't do it any longer, then they play perfect Dota, but the thing is, it's way too late right now.
Long zip Azura! Come on, my guy, that's deep inside there. Oh, DB's even hitting tier 4 towers, Jesus. Oh.
He's done. He's done with this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't blame him. I do not blame him. 21,000 net worth lead. They'll force one buyback. And they've also forced the anti-mage back without the Skadi.
This is the position that Lilgun didn't want to be in. This is what they were fighting against ever since Army Geniuses got the Aegis. They don't want the troll in front and the rest of his team behind. That is not a fight that you can fight properly, especially without the Void Spirit to create chaos in a fight. So 2 lanes of Raxus for sure. And you have to catch them on the retreat. You cannot allow them to group themselves up for the top lane as well. You have to fight right now if you're Lilgun.
Somehow you gotta deal with Lion and Abaddon. Like, Abaddon's giving way too much to saying, hang on a second, Timbersaw! Well, you gotta protect 11 as well. Abyssal Blade's out, controlling him in place, and he's gonna be killed off the mana, so they're getting burnt. But Azura's gonna make sure they don't get an opportunity with this Mana Void. BKB in the middle. And GG's are caught as Army Genius. A very convincing Game 1 victory from them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I would say Lilgun, they need a guy that is behind them when they play and kind of telling them you're losing, it's not going well, you're losing, because when they're aware that the game is going really badly, they make all the right calls in situations when it's really hard. Those were some tier 1 plays from Lilgun, fighting around the mid lane, fighting in front of their base. It's something that tier 1 teams do. People usually are like, why didn't they just wait on the high ground? Because if you wait on the high ground, you're just gonna lose the game. It's easy for the enemies to posture properly, and with a good formation they will crush you. But Lilgun, I mean, they don't do nothing until they're absolutely forced to. I just think they need to have a little bit more faith in themselves, because that was some solid performance from them, but I don't want to take it away from Army Geniuses. From start to finish, laning phase-wise, early mid-game, they were doing everything they need. They were taking the lead and killing the right heroes, getting the right towers. It just didn't leave much chance for Lilgun, but I still think there were opportunities for them that they just didn't want to take.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, just Army Geniuses are able to execute in Game 1. Beautiful thing is we have a best at 2. It's always a position if Lilgun are able to set themselves up with a draft and hit back, because, of course, this was a team that was able to contest a lot of the tough opponents in Division 2 for the Spring Tour, but it's seeming to be a different story in this tournament in particular. We have to continue to mention that for the lads on Lilgun, you are really getting to the later stages. You need to get some map victories. When it feels like every time we're speaking about them, that is something that's being brought up, but because they are really struggling to get wins under their belt, and they don't have long left to do so. And you have still a series versus RSG and still a series versus Motivate. So all up, you have 5 games left. And your opponents in Motivate that are potentially going to be battling with Elimination have 6 games left. So you got to get cracking. You got to get the whip going if for the coach over on Lilgun and the lads on there. But like you said, there were times for them to execute and silver linings where we did see them do very solid things that they should be happy about. But they just got to convert on the second game, and we'll find out if they're able to do so after the break.